me feeling like I'm academics. Can't run
from one death to another, and I guess there's no great segue, but have y'all seen on social media all of the reactions and the responses to essentially people giving their opinion about the death of Charlie Kirk, right? There's been 2 black students I've seen that got expelled. One was this guy, and he was expelled from Texas State University after gruesomely reenacting the death of Charlie Kirk and mocking his supporters on campus. A statement was released. This is a follow-up message I sent earlier. The university has identified the student in the disturbing video from Monday's event. I will not tolerate the behavior that mocks, trivializes, or promotes violence on our campus. It is antithetical to our Texas State University values. The individual is no longer a student of Texas State. Federal law prevents this university from commenting further on an individual student conduct matters. Unfortunately, some people are suggesting the individual's actions represent the beliefs of Texas State students in general or those of a specific student organization. These kind of insinuations are unfair to our student body, and they cause some of our students to feel unsafe. Just as the behavior in the video is reprehensible, it attempts to spread and blame onto innocent students are also acceptable. The action of one person does not reflect our entire student community or the individuals in it. Now, this was the video, and trigger warning for those who care.
Charlie Kirk got hit in the neck. He not real. He not real. He not real. Oh my God.
Wow.
My name is Charlie Kirk. That's Kimmel.
Oh, buddy.
Fuck that nigga.
You're gonna get expelled, dude.
Wow. Now, there was another person who got expelled, and did Trump comment on that? Oh. What's this? Here we go.
Holding this hearing. Thank you for depoliticizing the FBI and getting it back to its original mission as well. Director Patel, do you agree that we have a problem in the United States with politically motivated violence?
Absolutely.
And I very much agree. I think we can all agree that political violence is wrong, it's evil, regardless of which side it comes from, and that we can all adamantly and vehemently reject it, or we certainly should. But one of the things that we've noticed recently is that affinity and tolerance for political violence is not equally distributed on both sides of the aisle. In fact, right now, social media is filled with leftists who are cheering on the murder of an iconic conservative political figure, Charlie Kirk. And it's not just random people on Twitter doing this now. There's a YouGov poll released just a few days ago, which stated that 25% of those who identify as very liberal believe that political violence can sometimes be justified. That's far too many, is it not? It is. That number
is far too many.
One is far too many. That's right. Only 3% of very conservatives said the same thing, and we can agree that 3% is far too many. But there's an astounding difference between 25% on the left accepting and tolerating political violence and 3% on the right. I would hope that our colleagues on the other side of the aisle would also recognize that there is a systemic problem on their side of the aisle with tolerance for
apparently this guy's going to expose somebody.
Violence against people with whom they politically disagree, that there's a cultural rot on their side of the aisle that needs to be addressed desperately. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
One of the more astounding aspects of this is that it's not just people. This comes from the very top, from their political leaders. Just a few days ago, a member of Congress of this body, Ilhan Omar, shared a video on her social media account about Charlie Kirk's murder, and I'll quote what it said. It said, "Charlie Kirk was Dr. Frankenstein, and his monster shot him through the neck." In other words, Charlie had it coming to him. The words that he said naturally led to his assassination. I mean, that is a reprehensible thing for a member of Congress to say, to suggest, to promote in any capacity. And there are people across this country who are losing their jobs for far less than this. And that, by the way, is a just response to acceptance in public.
Okay, I thought there was going to be like some bigger whatever. Anyway, so this guy got suspended. There is a woman who got suspended, which is her. Her name is, what is her name? Let's see if I can figure out her name. Cameron? Okay, I think her name is Cameron. I think she got expelled too. She was mocking the death of Charlie Kirk.
Homie dead! Fuck your homie dead! He got shot in the head! Fuck your homie dead! Yeah, fuck your homie dead.
Evil is real, people, and it kind of looks like that. Evil. Evil. Murder is bad. She is evil. Have not said. Why are you being so hateful?
Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Why are you so hateful? Yeah.
Hey, can somebody tell her to back up?
Can you not put the camera in my face?
I'm sitting here. You walked up to me.
Okay, well,
I don't want this. I said rest in peace.
Okay, and I can
Just
do
leave
this
it
too.
alone. Please don't come after
Ma'am,
me.
you've been
I want to be left alone.
I'm not emotional, ma'am. Don't tell me what I am and what I'm not. You can get out of my face because I could tell you what you are, but you won't like it.
You're being aggressive. You're being aggressive.
I'm not being aggressive. My voice is
You are
very
being
calm. You're calling me
aggressive.
aggressive because I'm a black woman.
Not at all.
You
No,
are.
we're not.
I'm
Is
very
she being
calm right
aggressive?
now.
You bring racism to
I'm
it.
out. Why are you?
Come on now.
Like racing at me? No, I just said I don't want to talk to you.
I just don't want. I don't want.
Okay, she later got locked up. All right. A lot of people start losing their jobs. People who were commenting about this or who had distasteful views about this guy's murder or mocked it. And even Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel, who hosts a late night talk show, he was suspended indefinitely after, and let's see if we can find the clip. He said this.
With the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks? They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years. And it's going to be a beauty.
Yes. He's at the fourth stage of grief, construction. Demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
I think he said some more shit too. I'm not going to cap with you.
New lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize.
Wait, was that it? I thought there was more. What did Jimmy Kimmel say? Was that it?
Off the air in
developing this afternoon. Back up and look at what Kimmel actually said on the program that has caused controversy. This is from Monday night in his Monday evening monologue. Kimmel suggested that the alleged killer of Charlie Kirk might have been a pro-Trump Republican. He said, quote, "The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it." He said in between the finger pointing, there was grieving. Kimmel was expressing what we've heard some other...
Okay. Is that it?
New lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize human level.
I thought there was more.
There was grieving on Friday.
Now, wow. Was this all chat?
We had some new lows over the weekend with the demolition mourns a goldfish, okay? Other than one of them level.
Really?
Going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed.
Go ahead, I'm interested because are they sending everyone home?
Wow.
Get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about.
Am I tripping?
We had some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between the finger pointing, there was grieving. On Friday, the White House flew the flags at half-staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this.
My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks?
Okay. Wow. People, I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to this. Obviously, by the way, I have nothing against Charlie Kirk. You know, I actually think the guy had he was a very interesting person, and I don't agree with the people who think he was just bad. And, you know, I think he had some ideas and not everything I agree with. But I would definitely not join anyone in celebrating his demise, nor really anyone, especially if I only disagree with their political take, if I do. What I will say, though, if this is all that Jimmy Kimmel say, and maybe it's because I know I get on this mic here and I do talk a lot of shit and I'm usually popping it, I probably don't want, I wouldn't be in agreement of him getting suspended or him losing the show. That's me personally. I think you could take away from what he said that it may be a little bit distasteful, might be ill-timed, might be too soonish, whatever. But me personally, I understand that this guy does a comedy show, and I understand that he's in politics and he probably falls on the other side. And I don't think he was clowning Charlie Kirk necessarily. I think he was clowning the people who were reacting to his passing. Now, with that being said, I theoretically, and this is not necessarily my opinion, but because I keep telling you I'm a math guy, and I like to say what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and I like to say 1 + 1 is 2. I'm not kind of 2. That's been my new thing recently. I got no problem with this thing getting losing the show. You gotta listen up here, people. I don't agree. And so I wouldn't say he should lose the show, but I understand why he lost the show. What I've realized is that politics is completely a blood sport, literally and figuratively. And God rest the soul of Charlie Kirk. But what I've realized is that political beliefs these days not only could cost you your life, it could cost you your career in many different ways. Why am I saying that? I don't agree with cancellation of nobody. You get what I'm saying? Like, unless you did some really heinous shit. But cancellations have existed for years. During the last administration, when Biden was up there, about to fall asleep, people love to talk about how so-and-so lost their job because they said X, Y, and Z about A, B, and C. So if we weren't mad at cancellations before, why the hell are we mad at it now? So, in theory, I don't agree with cancellations. And to call, I guess, both sides out, I do think that the conservatives who are now reveling in cancellation should know when Trump leaves office and now conservatives start losing their jobs or start getting canceled, y'all should realize you're encouraging the cancellation. I just think in everything you support, the ball swings both sides of the court like it's tennis. So if you like when niggas was getting canceled when there was a Democrat in power, you can't be mad that when Trump in power, everybody that clowns or fucks around and plays around on social media or does some content to piss off the Trump administration, they're getting fired. That's just what it is. So you got to agree with cancellation for everybody, depending on who in power, because that's how it always is, right? The people who are in power, like Trump got canceled on social media. They deleted his Twitter. He couldn't have a Twitter. if you believe that was fair, you got to say this is fair too. So me, I just call it a spade. So you know what I mean? I like Jimmy Kimmel. Me personally, I ain't got a problem with what he said, but shit, we got to have one rule. If we believe in cancellation, everybody get canceled. I was actually surprised when I seen Barack Obama said this, because I don't think it was was cancellation a big thing during the administration of Barack Obama? I don't know if it was, but watching Obama now speak about the necessity of free speech and how people shouldn't be silenced. And he's like, after years of complaining about cancel culture, the current administration has taken it to a new and dangerous level. That's where I got to disagree with my man Barack. Yo, Barack, you know how many niggas got canceled when you and Biden were president, bro? Just stop it. Is what the Republicans or conservatives are doing, or is that hypocritical? Yes, absolutely. But if you didn't do nothing to stop it when you were president, you should expect the other side to do it to you. Y'all are ops. And this is why I'm saying that politics is becoming almost damn near a blood sport, because people's empathy and their thoughts on things only matter about who's in power and what side you believe, right? So, for example, Trump is in power. Cancellation, when it's working towards liberals, people are like, good. I get, like, people celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, they're celebrating political assassinations as long as it's going towards conservative voices. But if it goes to liberal voices, they're going to be disgusted. So again, I understand it all. I just hope people's opinion on these matters don't only change because of what side of the aisle they're on. If you like cancellation, you got to like it on both sides. If you like people taking things in their own hands and saying this got to happen or whatever happened, you should think that on both sides as well. But usually people don't. So, you know, this is why I come back to, you know, I'm going to land the plane on the initial point I said, which is politics, it's getting to a dangerous level, period, in the United States, because it's a blood sport now. Like, we're starting to accept things that would normally be out of bounds for any democracy. Political assassinations and censorship. We've been accepting censorship for years. It's just what side has been accepting it. Political assassinations, it feels like one side is kind of cool with it. But as I said, this is one of the things, the ball bounces both sides of the court like it's tennis. All right. Anyway. All right. I'll move on for this. Y'all don't really give a damn about politics that much. Let me see what else is going on. Are we doing the Where's Wham Brigade? Where